Welcome to my video. So this video is on my car having issues. It's a weird thing to me anyway, because it's not cranking and it's not starting, but it's getting all the powers. I don't think I left the lights on this car overnight. I mean, the battery seems to be good, but I parked it overnight last night. I'm pretty sure I checked everything to make sure that everything was off before I left it. And woke up this morning, got into my car, turned the key, and all I got was a click. It was just one click, which really sucks. Considering... Alright, so here's what I did so far. Alright, I checked the battery. I thought maybe it was the battery that was dead, but I don't think it's the battery, considering if the battery was dead, nothing else would be working. But just in case, I actually did try to jump it with a power pack, and it just clicked. Did the same thing, nothing else happened, just clicked. Everything else seems to be working. The radio works fine. The vents work fine. Fine. Obviously, the AC is not going to turn on, but everything else seems to be fine in this car, including the alarm. It could be, at this point, it could be the fuses, it could be the relay, it could be the starter. But I did get the starter changed out like a while ago, like not a while ago, but last year. So I'm hoping it's not the starter that's the issue. It would be an absolute pain if it is the starter that's the issue, because I'd have to go and buy another starter and try to get it to work, etc., etc. It's something that I don't want to redo, and I don't think I bought a brand new starter. Starter I bought was a rebuilt starter from a shop. It was rebuilt, and I've heard so many stories about these rebuilt starters that remanufactured starters, that they actually just fix one single component, and they leave all the components alone and stuff like that. But it's amazing to me that they actually rebuilt these things, considering they want the core back, and the core looks like crap when you bring it in, for the most part. But regardless, I did test the fuses. All the fuses seem to be okay. There was nothing off about any of the lights on the dash. It doesn't seem off. A lot of cases, if there's a fuse, if that's the issue, you would still get at least a crank, but it just wouldn't start up. And if there was a dead fuse somewhere, normally in these scenarios, you would have no lights at all on your car, no lights lighting up, nothing like that, nothing working. But that's not the case here, unfortunately. I was hoping it'd be a simple fix. Now, I had considered it to be the relay. It could be the relay that's causing it, but I do hear a click, so that's pretty much the solenoid firing off. And I'm told that you have the solenoid firing off on the car, on the starter, and you can hear solenoid click or some clicking sounds. I mean, not cranking sounds, but clicking sounds. If you can hear some clicking sounds, at least one click, or if it's firing off, like click, 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 something like that. I mean, something like that. It could be like a weak. It could be a weak battery. Or it could be, your starter that's dead. Because if your relay was really dead, just relay to the starter was dead, you really wouldn't be able to hear anything coming from the car. Now, here's the thing about it. I did get out of this car. I did try to bump it. Like, if you guys know that trick, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. If you hit the starter motor a couple of times, with some a crowbar or whatever, and try to start afterwards. But it would probably work better if you try to hit it while somebody's you know, trying to turn it on. But nothing happened. So I'm gonna assume that the starter is dead. Now this issue, funny thing is, I had an issue like this couple months back. I had an issue like this a couple months back, and you know, I was eventually able to start it, and it hasn't occurred since. I believe what I did was I took one of the posts off the battery, put it back on, and did a couple of things that I don't remember because it was like 6 months ago. I said a couple months, 6 months ago, and it's been doing this sporadically. And the thing about it is that, you know, when it did happen sporadically, I did knock the starter with, you know, a long crowbar, and you know, it did start every single time. Now, this didn't happen all the time. It happened every once in a while. Every once in a while, maybe like once a month. Really sporadic. I don't know what the deal was with it. Don't know what the deal was with it, but it would start up every single time. It didn't start up this morning. So now we're gonna have to probably take a look at getting a starter and putting it in. Here's the deal. So basically, with me trying to figure out what the issue is, I had to figure out whether it was a crank or no crank scenario. This is a no crank, no start scenario. If it was cranking, the starter would be fine, and it could be a couple other things like a fuse, the fuel pump, you know, a relay or whatever. Maybe I've had that happen where a relay needed to be taken out and cleaned and put back in. Had that happen before. This situation is an absolute no start whatsoever. Now, I did use a power pack for it, and the power pack that I bought was from Walmart. It's rated for 4 cylinders. I don't know if it's powerful enough to get this car started. I don't know if it's powerful enough to get this car cranking. But it was fully charged, alright, and on a fully charged pack like that, if it wasn't even able to get this car started, I should have been able to just turn the key and then hear a slow crank or something like that. You know, a no crank scenario. I mean, I wasn't even hearing multiple clicks. If I heard multiple clicks, like click, 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 you know, it would be like the, you know, it would be, at least I would have an assumption that, you know, I could be able to start it if I did jump it. Right? Not the case here. Wasn't able to, you know, I heard one click, and it was a faint click, but I heard one click. And you know what? Just to be sure anyway, I mean, I already tested out the fuses. You know, everything else seems to be working fine. I'm probably gonna buy either a battery meter and see where the battery is at right now, or I'm gonna try to get a jump. Probably gonna try to get a jump from somebody. Hopefully it turns over. Now I know there might be other. You know, I know that you know, being in this situation, if you don't know anything about cars, you might think, well, how come it's not the alternator? Here's the thing why it's not the alternator. It's not the alternator, probably. I'm just gonna assume it's not the alternator because, no, it's not even an assumption. I know it's not the alternator, alright? Because normally when the alternator goes out, it goes out on you while you are driving, or at least have the car on, the engine running. Reason being is that the battery, you know, the battery and starter starts up the car, the alternator charges, you know, all the components on the car. All right. So if your alternator, if my alternator was dead to begin with, and everything was okay, I still would be able to actually start this car up. But it's not the alternator because this car did not die while it was running. Now, in a rare case where, you know, I could have had an alternator that was going out and I drove on a dead alternator all the way to my house, and the battery just died on the spot as I parked it. But here's the thing about it. I checked my headlights. And my headlights, the beams are strong. My high beam is strong. I'm pretty sure, definitely sure it's not the alternator. It could either be an absolutely dead battery, or it was the starter that was that's just dead, which is unfortunate considering I don't think I put any more than a couple, about 10, 20, I'm gonna say like maybe 25,000 miles on the starter before it died on me. Next starter I'm gonna definitely get a starter from the junkyard off of eBay, an OEM used starter or whatever, because I've had so many issues with remanufactured parts, rebuilt parts. Had issues with a rebuilt alternator, and this is a rebuilt starter. All right, I had like 2 alternators that I had to change up before I got this one in my car, and this one is one from the junkyard, and this lasted me longer than the other 2 rebuilt alternators. This starter is a manufactured, rebuilt starter, and if it is the starter that went out on me, I will definitely buy a used one from eBay, preferably an OEM starter. But that's the way it is with these situations. Alright guys, so it's the next morning. I am now in my car and it does start. I was able to get a jump yesterday and try to get it jumped. Nothing worked. Everything was the same. Just one click, nothing else besides that one click. And at that point I knew that it was the starter. It couldn't be anything else other than the starter. So I had to buy a starter from eBay. A lot of these junkyards actually list their stuff on eBay, and picked it up from a junkyard that was listing it the same day, put it in, and it starts up. So it was the starter that was the issue. So good stuff considering things could be worse, but it was the starter. Didn't need to figure much out after that. The car drives fine, not a problem. Yeah, so if you guys have any comments about this video, please leave your comments in the comment section. Please give me a thumbs up, and please definitely subscribe for more videos, guys. All right, I'm constantly putting videos up about my cars that I'm fixing, etc. All right, guys, take care.